Good day, my people!
Oh, good day, Chinedu.
I already ordered your favorite Sobolo cocoa drink. Hi.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see you guys again, eh? I've been looking forward to our meetings.
Okay. Let's jump right into our discussion now. As I said yesterday, we should focus on solving our issues rather than blaming people. What do you mean? Well, our leaders are the mirrors of our communities, right? That means that everyone has to strive to improve character-wise and become a good leader in his or her community. Our countries need men and women of integrity who are ready and willing to work together for the common good. Men and women who resist the habit of stealing from and exploiting their own communities, be it in the name of politics, religion, or ethnicity. Men and women who stand up against injustice in their communities. These are the kinds of habits that will catalyze growth and prosperity in our communities and countries.
Do you really think many of us can change like that? Don't you think our people know they need a behavioral change?
Nobody expects immediate change, but we need to create the awareness about the obstacles that hinder progress.
Change is good, oh. But how can we start building successful and multinational companies like the South Koreans and the Chinese?
By learning from them and other successful nations. I mean, look at how the Indians, Chinese, and Lebanese work together to support each other in raising capital for business. We need to follow the examples set by these people in dealing with social and economic growth.
Guys, you know, more than 60% of Africans live in rural areas. Africa's economy is mostly dependent on agriculture. And more than 32% of the continent's income comes from the agricultural sector.
With these figures, why is agricultural productivity in some African countries still so low, eh?
Well, in most African countries, over 90% of agriculture depends on rainfall because we lack appropriate irrigation systems. The techniques used to cultivate the soil are not modern as in Europe, Asia, and America. Oh, do you know that agricultural growth preceded the Industrial Revolution in England and Japan? Which country in Africa has established a solid agricultural base, eh?
This seems to be big business, oh. Till date, I have been searching for a white-collar job. If most of our countries depend on agriculture, then why not focus and invest more in this sector and encourage our youth to explore more opportunities here?
Well, that is a good question for our leaders to create an enabling environment. Our governments can promote agriculture by providing loans with low interest rates and subsidies to entrepreneurs in this sector. They could equally encourage joint ventures by creating conducive environments for investment in food processing industries. Yeah.
That sounds good, but I doubt if it will work. At times, I feel our African brothers and sisters like to prevent others from succeeding. Most of them are self-centered and seldom support each other in business initiatives.
We need to refrain from being our own obstacles and support our businesses.
Yes!
We need to sensitize the masses on entrepreneurial spirit and the importance of solidarity and working together.
Oh yes, and please don't forget that money alone cannot bring about development. We need the right mindset, which leads to improved habits. Our educational system must also be reformed to suit the needs of our communities and reflect our cultural values.
So you mean my prayers to God will not help me grow rich?
Oh, Chinedu, besides praying every day, which extra efforts have you put in place towards achieving your goal of becoming rich, eh? For example, how many job applications have you sent out?
About 10 last month alone.
Hey, only 10?
Yes.
Some youths have sent out 100 job applications every month. Have you ever thought of starting any form of business?
Business? No, I haven't.
Oh, wait. Then how do you expect to get rich? Through prayers alone without any personal effort of running a business? Come on.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. You know, the first time I arrived in the US, I was shocked. So shocked to see that they spend less time in the church and more time at work with their families. I also realized their systems were efficient and there was a visibly high level of mutual respect among citizens. Yeah. I started asking questions. How come we Africans tend to seek solutions to our daily problems in churches? Even to the extent that some deliberately refuse medical attention. I mean, rather substituting it with prayers. Is it because we tend to look for easy solutions to our development problems? Don't get me wrong, being religious is not a bad thing, but this must be accompanied by hard work, creativity, and self-discipline.
Exactly. Only productive economic activities and industrialization can create job opportunities for the youth in our countries. We have the market size and can grow quickly by promoting our business initiatives and consuming our locally made products. We also need to work in solidarity to generate capital and fund projects that are relevant for our communities.
Yes, I think that is very important. Let's be the change we want to see in order to protect and promote our rich cultural heritage. My dream is to develop our economies and offer each citizen a comfortable life and avoid the risk and challenges of seeking greener pastures abroad.
Well, if our countries of origin could create favorable conditions that can facilitate investment and reintegration, I'm telling you right now, many Africans in the diaspora will return home. Most Western countries already have efficient and developed systems. And I believe Africa needs me the most. My dream is to contribute to the development of my country and my continent.
With solidarity, hard work, and self-discipline, we can make a change.